champion. Raised in the jungle. All my life, yeah, I had to fight. FNG, let's go live tonight. I was born to be a champion. Raised in the jungle. All my life, yeah, I had to fight. FNG, let's go live tonight. You can't move on your own. Ouija moves, dancing in the end zone. Crush groove. All we do is get dubs. Hate to lose. We can do this all day. No snooze. Don't get it poppin' if you saying that you poppin', dog. Never will I lose to a dude. Just won't happen, y'all. Call a deep pass. Watch flash. What you crying for? Gonna pass the chips. Better yet, put on up quick. Hear 'em hating from the side. Twitch watch. I guess you say it's about time. TikTok. FNG, where we at? On top. Other leagues can't win. Flip flop. I wanna be a champion. Raised in the jungle. All my life, yeah, I had to fight. FNG, let's go live tonight. I wanna be a champion.
What's going on, FNG? This is your boy, Big Boy Deal, the Browns owner. Great to be back on this show, this great show that we have. Got a lot of different stuff we're going to talk about today. I put it in the topics in the, on the group page. Of course, talk about division leaders, top 10, who's hot, who's not, and also talk about this new Xbox and the pros and the cons to it. But yeah, we're going to get the show started. I'm actually going to bring my boy in the waiting list, Mr. Stephen Billups, the Bengals owner. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Sir.
Okay. What's going on, fellas?
Yes, sir. All right, we'll bring in the Steelers owner, Mike Wright.
What's up, FNG family? Good to see y'all again.
So congratulations, your team is 10-0. Well, right. Exactly.
I had nothing to do with it.
Right. And triple OG, triple OG, 49ers owner.
Greetings, everyone. Good to be here. My team is not 10-0.
All right.
My FNG team's doing a little bit better than the real life team.
Our team just lost its quarterback, I guess.
Oof.
Whatever. Yeah. So I'm gonna put the link in the group page in a minute. It just pops up on YouTube. If we can go right down to the division leaders, read that off.
Got it, Billups?
Yeah, I'll take care of it, man. So greetings and salutations once again, FNGers. I'm going to go ahead and start with the AFC North. Right now, leading the AFC North is the Cleveland Browns with a immaculate record of 8-1. Right now, they're tied with the Baltimore Ravens, who are also 8-1 in that division. Third is Cincinnati Bengals at 5-2-1, and trailing is a very, very competitive Pittsburgh Steelers team at a 3-5 record right now, and that's your AFC North. In the south of the AFC, a little bit closer in terms of matchups. Right now, Jacksonville Jaguars are leading with a 5-4 record. Tennessee Titans are at 3-6. Just went through a battle with the Colts, who are also 3-6. They're neck and neck. I think the Colts just won that last game between the two. And trailing that division, you have the Texans at 1-8. And that right there is the AFC South. Over in the East, I think the first team to 5 wins is going to win this division. Right now, you have Buffalo Bills, who are at 3-6, followed by the Patriots, who are at 2-7. The Dolphins are also at 2-7, and the Jets, who we just got a new owner over there, they're at 1-8. So again, AFC East is led by the Bills right now. Over in the West Side, we got the 3-time defended champion Los Angeles Superchargers. Right now, they're at 8-0-1. Trailed by a returning great, Chaz, is over there. The Denver Broncos, they're at 8-1. Kansas City Chiefs are at 6-3. And trailing that division over in the AFC West, you have the Raiders, who are at 3-6. Moving over to the NFC. NFC North. King of the North has a spot back, it looks like, at least temporarily. Right now, they're at 9-1. and that's your Chicago Bears. Over in that division, you have the Packers, who are at 8-1, just coming off of a great win where they put up, I think, 115 points on the team just recently. At least I felt like that watching the game. Minnesota Vikings are at 3-6, and then trailing that division, just got out of a very, very competitive game. The Lions just got a victory. They're at 2-7. Over in the South, we have Atlanta Falcons at 6-3, followed by the Carolina Panthers at 5-5. We have the Buccaneers, who've been running around on everybody they play all season with multiple running backs at 3-7.
Hell yeah.
And we have the Saints at 2-7 right now in that division. Some really, really great matches going on in FNG right now. However, everybody's had an opportunity to watch some of the games that's been aired.
Yes.
NFC East, first team to 7. Washington football team, 4-5 right now. Eagles, 3-5. Cowboys, 3-6. And of course, everybody knows the Giants are still at 0-9. So that's over in the NFC East. And the mighty West, hey, no other than Triple OG, 49ers, 9-1. We have the Seahawks at 6-3. Right now, the Seahawks owner, for those who don't know, is on AP. Not sure how long he'll be on AP, but I'm sure that'll impact his record for a while. Carter's have been on and off, but they're at 6-2 right now in the division. Hope all's going well with both of those owners. And then you have the Rams coming off 2 consecutive wins. They're at 5-4. So again, just kind of go from the NFC West, mighty West out there, 9-1 49ers, 6-3 Seahawks, 6-2 Cardinals, 5-4 Rams.
I would say it's inverse. I would say that 6-2 Cardinals would be number 2 outside of that.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yep. Some owners have obviously played already this week, so it's throwing off some of the records. But most definitely, Cardinals right now are technically second place in that division. And that's your AFC and NFC division leaders, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You're still muted. Dill, you're still muted. Well, we can't hear you.
Sometimes it's a good thing when he's muted.
His volume was really low earlier. He had to go yell at the wife for buying him a brand new TV.
Nah, he ain't yelling at his wife.
Yeah, especially after her doing that. Yeah, there's been while he gets the things together. Speaking of the Bucks, I think they were working on 2,000-yard rushers. And just jump in, Jill, Dill, when you can, so we can hear you. Because we, until we hear you, we're assuming you're still down. But they're working on 2,000-yard rushers, and I think both of their running backs are injured now.
They are, but what's amazing about them is that obviously I think they'll end the season with 1,000-yard rushers with multiple, but it's a good chance they'll get 3,000-yard rushers. I mean, they're running the heck out of the ball right now, and I think they're taking advantage of the fact that their guys are injured and it's next man up over there. So I know we'll talk about some stats later on, but he's running the ball for sure.
Yeah, that just jumped on my mind when you said that they're running the heck out of the ball because they have been killing it. Looks like right now, I'm just looking right now, they're both healthy, so that's a plus.
Good deal. Yeah, for sure. Amazing enough, he has a, just kind of throw a shout out. He has a 1,000-yard rusher in Ronald Jones. Leonard Fournette has 880 yards rushing, and what's his name? Lamar Miller has 775 yards rushing. So he's within about 250 yards of having 3 guys with 1,000 yards rushing, which is ridiculous. Could easily have 3 guys with 1,000-yard rushing and 10 touchdowns.
Well, I think we should probably take this momentum, the statistical momentum, down because we still have technical issues, and have Mike take over with the stats.
Absolutely.
Got them things ready?
Yes. So typically I do this at end of the week. I was out this weekend. I really wasn't planning on being back, but I am.
Handling that business is what you was doing.
Yes,
you was doing what you was supposed to be doing.
I was putting food on the table.
Yes.
So these stats are as of this afternoon, so midweek in. I'd say a little skewed, but not really. Nothing. There weren't big changes in the leaders that we had to begin with. So, quarterbacks. Drew Lock of the Broncos is leading with 3,490 passing yards and 37 touchdowns.
Wow.
As far as QB rating, Aaron Rodgers has finally fallen off the top. He was on top QB rating the entire last season.
Okay.
And this season, up until this week, and Jimmy G, 137.7.
Oh, okay.
So Mr. Tranks is over there handling his business and using Jimmy G to his best. When we go to running backs, J.K. Dobbins of the Ratbirds has 1,817 rushing yards.
Killing it.
He has had a
9.4
couple
yards a carry.
huge rushing games.
9.4 yards a carry. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Leading in rushing touchdowns, Raheem Mostert of the Niners. And Christian McCaffrey has touched the ball more than any other running back with 204 touches.
So you kind of brushed over this a little bit. So you said leading, which is most definitely leading. This man has 27 touchdowns.
27
games.
touchdowns. Yes.
In 10 games.
In 9 games, actually.
And how many games have you been up big where you didn't even score touchdowns in the fourth quarter, Trank?
At least 3.
Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous.
At least
Well,
3.
Ridiculous.
The ridiculosity will continue. As we continue on to this very next step, which is wide receivers. Tyreek Hill is leading with 1,496 receiving yards.
Damn it.
Deebo Samuels is leading with 22 receiving touchdowns. So the 49ers will have the leading rushing touchdown person and the leading receiving touchdown.
Testing.
Now,
Can hear
and
him.
not scoring touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
And not scoring
For the most
touchdowns in
part.
the fourth quarter
Yeah.
for the most
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
Okay.
And we talked about this last show where Saquon Barkley was leading in receptions. We're like, what are we looking at here? This is a wide receiver, stat. So of course, Saquon's not up there anymore because he got injured. But the leading receivers for actual catches, Philip Lindsay of the Broncos and Matt Breida of the Dolphins, both with 59 receptions.
That is amazing.
So we continue to be a halfback passing league.
Well, they edged out Deebo Samuel, Khalif Raymond, and Cooper Kupp.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
We got you. We got you, Tiger. Khalif Raymond.
I just want to mention something.
Deebo Samuel,
I got you, brother.
Raymond, and Cooper Kupp of the Rams all have 56. They're tied behind those 2 running backs, but that's still amazing. I mean, Philip Lindsay with 500 yards, 593 yards, and Philip Breida with 661 yards receiving. So that's still amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Looking at defense, George Odom of the Ravens has 15 interceptions.
Oh, he's killing it.
Yes. Forced fumbles, we have Jamal Adams of the Seahawks, Quan Alexander of the 49ers, Devin Kennard of the Cardinals, Bradley Chubb of the Broncos, and Jadeveon Clowney from Tennessee, each with 3. Now, I don't know if Madden did something to nerf the forced fumbles, but last season at this point, we were looking at people with 15 forced fumbles in 10 games in.
Testing.
Wow. You're 5x5.
Deal.
Yeah, and it wasn't one person. We had, I think, 3 people that had over 15 at this point last season.
Wow.
So huge drop in forced fumbles. Leading the league in sacks.
That's because no defense is happening this season.
No, except for those 15 interceptions out of the Ravens.
But
Actually, it's
to put that
been quite a few interceptions.
to put that in perspective, the NFL record in interceptions, I believe, is 14.
Yes.
So he's got 15 in 9, 10, whatever, 8 games. Ridiculous.
Just
Ridiculous.
bad quarterback play.
Leading in sacks is Montez Sweat of the Washington football team with 12. Jelani Tavai of the Lions has 66 tackles. And George Odom also has 5 touchdowns, 5 defensive touchdowns.
Damn.
So not only is he picking them, he's taking them to the house.
What most people might not notice is Washington football team has another sack leader close to the sack with 10. Chase Young has 10.
Yep, Chase Young has 10 and a half.
So they out there sacking people. 22 sacks between just the two of them.
Yep.
I think it helps when you play in NFC East.
Daniel Jones got sacked again.
Nobody cares what Montez Sweat does.
All right, so Eddie Pinheiro of the Bears is 15 of 16 in field goals. And it only makes sense. Robbie Gould of the Niners is 64 out of 65 with extra points. He spends a lot of time backing up Raheem Mostert and Deebo Samuel. Now for the longs. The longest punt, both Tress Way from Washington and Johnny Hecker of the Rams have a 70-yard punt. It's still 10 off of the longest punt from last year, which was 80.
Jesus.
Longest field goal, Jake Elliott of the Eagles and Graham Gano of the Giants. See, Tiger, I get to say your name in a positive light. Had field goals of 59 yards.
You there, Tiger?
Roquan Smith of the Bears has an interception return of 101 yards.
Ooh, okay.
Derrick Henry has a 97-yard rush. That's the longest. The longest pass was Joe Burrow to who was it? Yeah, I can't remember who it was. It was 94 yards though. But it's now Pat Mahomes to Mecole Hardman for 95 yards.
John Ross III.
John Ross III, yes, thank you. Longest kick return is Randall Cobb at 104. And the longest punt return, Cordell Patterson of the Bears for 29 yards. So we still don't have people returning punts for long distances this season.
I'm getting punted out of bounds a lot, at least for me.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Hey, I'm
those
gonna
are your
chime in
stat
real
leaders
quick.
for
Anybody that's watching right now, please let me know who's watching. I see we got 7 of us on. Please let me know. We'll give you a shout out. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. Another
those
shout
are the
out
stat leaders.
Another shout out to Tranks, man. So Tranks with 64 extra points means you at least scored 64 touchdowns, and the next closest team is at 49. That's ridiculous. You got 15 more touchdowns than the next closest team. And again, I get back to he's blowing everybody out, so he's not scoring many touchdowns in the fourth quarter. So
Getting ahead early.
Man, what's going on?
I was again. This is
I
why.
have a quick question,
this.
Billups. How much did he pay you today? I'm just curious. Damn.
I was watching one of the Packers games the week before he was supposed to play me, and Sean Smith, please broadcast all the time because I know why people like watching mine because there's another reason why I like watching yours. You were literally like, how am I giving up these points? I'm playing the highest scoring team in FNG. And I'm like, hold on. What was he talking about? Because I didn't know it was me until you said it. I think I have like 500 points scored.
Yeah, stop trying to be humble. We all know you ain't humble. Be quiet.
Honestly, I didn't know until he brought it up. I actually didn't know.
Man, I ain't know I got 16 running backs over 1,000 yards. I don't know what happened.
Sometimes you just So I was working so hard on getting Debo that superstar breakout thing that I don't even notice it until it happens.
But it's not haterade. This is just honoring Tranks right here. Here you go, Tranks. You see my background? You see my
Packers
background?
are right behind.
This is all for you, buddy. This is all for you.
Well, I mean, of those 60 touchdowns, I think he scored 25 of them against the Giants. I mean, it was 72 to 38, I think. So, I mean, that wasn't slowing them down.
I think we should start a poll and saying how many times do people find themselves in a situation where because of a breakout message they lose their mind. I know Chaz will vote once. I know I'll vote a couple times.
Yeah, a couple people lost games because of that.
Yeah.
That's big. That's real big. But yeah, you'd be surprised, man. Be surprised. That's something we probably should bring up. I don't know if we're going to bring it up before the top 10, but the recent changes via the Madden updates. We haven't officially had a show since then, but well, shit. Talk about it now. Might as well bring it up. Madden had a major update that changed what commissioners could do, roster update, little tweaks and stuff. And this last update, Tiger was in the party with me because I was doing a whole lot of cursing. But essentially, owners can easier than it takes to switch your jersey number, the guy's name, or the color of their shoes or what gloves they're wearing. They can change their superstar or X Factor ability just with the switch of a button. So if you have a guy, let's say Hopkins.
Let's say TJ Watt, who has
Selfless and whatever two superstar abilities he has.
Yeah.
You can literally go click on it and just switch it to something else and go play. Go practice with it first, see if you like it. And then when you start the game, obviously you can't switch it. But if you didn't like it that game, switch it to something else. On top of that, the commissioners have 1, no way to track it, and 2, no way to turn it off or on. They did this without giving us the heads up. They told us that they would have, I knew that they would have be able to do it. I didn't know that the commissioners would not be able to stop them from doing it. So that's why the most recent post that I posted and the 2 posts that Billups posted where he kind of reminds people what are the rules as far as switching players. I put up there, look, since EA changed it, I'm letting everybody know all at the same time. You guys can change your superstar abilities or your X Factor abilities at will, however you want to do it. You don't have to report it. Just do it. Not just like Nike, just do it. I hate it. Even though I'm one of the teams that have the most to gain because I have a lot of X Factors and superstars. I hate it, but if I can't track it, I'm not going to be the one to write everybody's superstar ability down and then see if someone changes it. I'm not doing that. Now, if somebody wants to sign up to do that, then fine. We'll put a rule in and we'll change it and go back. But I'm not, I'm not doing that. That's not happening. Yo, what's up?
They didn't give you the ability to control it. And this right here is the world's smallest concert bass.
Yeah, right. So I just stopped. I was doing a whole lot of bitching about it. But, long story short, hey, man, guys have at it because EA did this. And, I'm going to just go with it. So, anybody have any comments on that? Anybody have any opinions?
Whatever.
So you like it?
I don't care.
Who have you changed recently that worked out for you?
Odell. I changed some stuff on him.
Oh, that was a superstar? He's not just a star?
Superstar. He ain't got the X Factor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think him and Myles Garrett. And I got Nick Chubb, who's out for 5 weeks.
Oof, wow.
A hangnail. So whatever.
I tell you, I'm still on the fence with Reese. Go ahead, Billups.
No, you got it, man. I've never been a fan myself of the X Factor, the superstar abilities.
No,
maybe because the Bengals only got like 1 or 2 every season, but
right.
but it's not something I enjoy about it. Now I know that's not the norm, with the mud mentality that some people have, but it's taken away of me the realness, of the gameplay, just in my opinion and my experience. Yeah.
So. Yep. Made it almost like NFL Blitz.
Yeah.
He's on fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'll say this.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I agree with that. I mean, I think the only thing that's taken away is a little bit of
It doesn't
flexibility. I
matter
mean,
what you. No, go ahead.
right, and I get you because, like, yeah, okay. So what that's saying is you're a bigger proponent for somebody randomly getting what they want and we're randomly getting what they don't want versus being able to select what they want and what they don't want. So
Yeah. While I'm not pleased with the decision for EA to do that, like I said, I feel kind of like Billups, where it feels like they're making it more MUT-like. But I don't dislike it enough to turn
Not do it
off
yourself.
X Factor. You know what I mean? Well, I'm going to do it myself anyway because I'm not going to not do that. But I don't dislike it enough to turn X Factors off completely, because the one thing I like about X Factors, to where I disagree with Billups, even though I agree with Billups a second ago, X Factors make players stand out, which I think the reason why they put them in, it became a money generating thing for them, but they put it in so that the guys will stand out, which I can appreciate, because I want Julio Jones to be difficult to stop. You know what I mean? I want Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes or Hill to be difficult to stop if you got a superstar ability or X Factor.
or Daniel Jones. Don't forget Daniel Jones.
Huh? Daniel Jones got
Quarterback.
sacked again, turned the ball over, fumble. But
And his X
it's
Factor
just
ability, mattress back.
it's made me reevaluate. I wasn't going to re-sign Richard Sherman, and now I'm considering it, because I'm considering putting selfless on Richard Sherman. So if he gets a turnover, everybody else's X Factor pops on. I literally considered doing it. And I believe we were just kind of saying it for the show. People, I believe, it's what Tiger said too recently, people have lost games because they were chasing that breakout message. Or throwing a bunch of picks, chasing a breakout message.
You play to win the game.
Right. Yeah, now it's like, hey, the breakout message might be worth that loss. It might be worth that loss if you can get a guy that's going to make...
Not over 4 seasons.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Hey, just chiming in, the Packers owner said he likes it.
Oh, yeah.
Be able to change it.
Don't he got like 7 players? Something be quiet over there.
Well, I'm gonna say, because
we should really ask. We should really ask. I think we figured out it was the Dolphins, was it the Jets or the Jags that have one superstar on their team, and I think Dolphins had 1. I think Jets, Jags, and myself have 2, and there are a couple teams with 3. Most teams actually have 6 or 7 players who are used superstar or better.
Yeah, I know. I have 9.
I have TJ Watt who has selfless as his X Factor, but I have nobody else who has an X Factor.
Which
so
is crazy, right?
It's a useless X Factor.
Right.
So it makes sense that you could change it. So I can understand why you would enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't. What I don't like about the change is that you get a guy like I'll give an example, like McCaffrey, right? We know he's an all-purpose back. He do pretty much everything, but you give him kind of that. Why should he have a bulldozer? Attribute, at 5'2", 125 pounds. You know what I mean? And those are kind of things that I get concerned with, because I think that, yes, Madden picks it for you, but they're picking it based on those guys' traits. They're not getting something that's not realistic. So I think that we now can edit it in a way that makes it a little more unrealistic.
But to go to
yes, it's what we want to do, but it's just that. Every corner is not a shutdown corner. You know what I mean?
True.
So now anybody that's a superstar can now be a shutdown corner.
Potentially,
based on the attribute. Or
let me ask you this: What? All right, to play devil's advocate, if you make it to a superstar as a cornerback in real life, what is a superstar cornerback? Someone who defends, right? It makes him effectively. There is no superstar cornerback that's not a shutdown corner, in my opinion, right?
There's only very few corners who can truly lock you down man to man.
Well, I think there's very few superstar corners. That's my point. They're one and the same.
So I just got a question. From Sean. Well, not a question. He said that some of the X factors for the D line, you manually have to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yeah. Well, No. You mean you have to actually be on the character for the X Factor
Yeah.
to light up?
Yeah.
No. That whatever the qualification for the X Factor to ignition or ignite is going to happen. You don't have to be on the player to do it.
Okay.
Because I know.
What about the one that's like you get like a pass rush move and it like moves your meter down or something? That meter only comes down if you're actually physically picking that person and does your pass rush move or something. So
Well,
I
no,
think that's
it's just
maybe what he's referring to.
no. What it is if they have a successful arm rip. Let's say one is as El Toro is a spin, right? Essentially, you get a spin move. If you have a successful spin move, you get a free pass rush resistance back or something like that, right? If your guy, let's say your guy has low finesse move and really high power move, you don't want to put El Toro on him because he's not going to be doing spin moves that often. He's going to be doing bull rushes and arm rips. So you might want to adjust it for that. And I'm almost sure the superstar abilities and X factors that they already have will be based on what their traits are. And that's kind of what I wanted to say when Billups was talking. Some things are not going to be available for certain players based on their character archetype. So if you're a pass rusher, you're less likely to be able to unlock the finesse move abilities, unless you're so good you can do either, like Bosa or Fletcher Cox, or any of the Bosas actually. So there is some limitation to it because your guy has to be good enough to do it. And I kind of agree a bit with Tiger as well. You'll be essentially choosing how your cornerback is a great superstar cornerback. Maybe, of course, Tiger said this to me too, that maybe I'm a control freak and I just don't like having so much control just given away without any tracking. That could be.
Well, I mean, maybe they should add the tracking. I don't think that's relevant. I think the real issue is I think that superstar and X Factor are so rare when you talk about the number of people who have it in the league that it makes more sense to be able to select what you want versus having one that's useless, right? What good is a team? I think Dragon's example. I think it was his guy had like team friendly one, right? But if you have no other people, it's useless, right? If you have if you're not a person who uses your receivers as runners and you got a default running trait on your receiver, yeah, it may be useful, but if you don't throw jet sweeps or something, then the likelihood.
Flash got wrecking ball with DK Metcalf in last Madden, and he said I hated wrecking ball because I need a guy to be able to moss people or whatever. So he wasn't happy with that. This changed what he would like.
To make I think it's more likely to make more sense that give them what you want versus have something that's useless. And what's the point? It's so rare as it is. So that's at least the way I interpret it.
Oh, and then another thing that before we close it out, because we're getting kind of long on this, they gave the commissioners the option to limit how many star players, how many X factors, and how many superstars are in the league, so we can control if they're a whole lot or if they're a whole little, and whether or not there's superstar regression. So just so everybody knows, superstar regression is on. So if a guy's getting old, there's a good chance he can lose it. If let's say we have 45 superstar abilities and 30 X factors, if your guy's getting old and there's a guy, let's say, gets an X factor, that older guy is probably going to lose it. He'll regress and lose it because there's like a limitation and there's like a checks and balances. Now, I'm letting everyone know also, we haven't changed whatever it is at default.
Yeah,
a lot of our stuff is default already, so I feel I have to put the faith in EA that whatever we were working at is what the default was. So I'm not changing that. But with regression, eventually the older guys will lose it and the younger guys will get it. So they'll be approximately the same amount.
Okay.
Hopefully.
This is what I dislike about that, because there's teams that are out there that default you have 7 or 8 guys that are superstar, right?
Yep.
So I think the limit right now, I think on default is 50 X factors and 75 superstar is what it is. So 125 people. So if you're a team that has 7 or 8 already, you may be able to earn 1 or 2 more, but the teams that have 1, 2, 3, the chance of them earning, 4, 5, 6 more is less likely because of this. So it almost, you're stuck with whatever you have within reason. Because again, you're
Are
only
you
going to
saying
get
the
an
rich get
upgrade.
richer and the poor stay poor? Man, too bad our world's not lightweight.
Well, again,
But
we don't even
that's
know
the
if that's
only
what it matches. We don't know if that's what it
yeah.
actually is right now. You know, what I mean is your numbers are correct, or I trust your numbers. What I mean
Yeah.
is that doesn't mean what it actually is right now, like this 50 or 75 right now.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't checked the research to see where we are from a max standpoint. I mean, it says
Correct.
50. I'm assuming with 32 teams, if there's 50 X factors, there's teams that have none, one or two. So we're probably really close in terms of X factors. May not be as close with superstars, but again, 75 spots for 32 teams. Like I say, you're already talking about 3 spots max, and there's some teams that got 4 or 5. So if somebody has 5 superstars, somebody else is gonna have none or 1, and that's kind of where we're at with that. So I definitely understand with the age thing, but I don't know how many, 10, 12, 13-year veterans have X factors that are planning on losing in the next couple of years. So it just restricts us a little bit. So
Richard
that's something we talk
Sherman.
about.
Hey, Billups, I agree with you, man. Matter of fact, this record, I agree with you. Somebody give me an extra factor.
I must be wrong.
It ain't gonna help you, Tiger. It's not gonna help you. So,
It will, because
let's put it on this topic.
apparently being able to switch it will make you a Super Bowl champ. Apparently, be able to switch it. Oh wait, is that it?
Well, moving
Moving
right
on.
along.
Real quick, shout out to Justin. He watching the show on his way to home from work. What's up, Justin?
Just in time.
Yes,
Yeah. He out there killing it with the Chiefs. And then Sean, the Packers owner, he said that Madden made it easier, or made it a way that people could play on the defensive line. So,
I agree with that.
Yes, like it was boring to play defensive line. And actually when I first started playing, man, I always played the right end. And
D tackle for me, Bryant Young.
Sorry to hear that. Okay.
Bryant Young was a Super Bowl champion. Okay.
Actually, we're going to top 10, but then we're gonna go to games of the week.
10-4.
Week 7. Let's go to top 10 real quick.
Okay, top 10. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read.
And if you disagree, fellas.
Yeah, we would appreciate your opinion.
Please give us your opinion. This is just our opinion.
Yes, sir.
Packers are watching. What's up, man?
I'm going to read
Patriots.
the former top 10, the previous top 10 from week 6. We're currently in week 10 right now. Packers number 1, Broncos number 2, both of them 5-0. Chargers number 3, 4-0-1. Falcons number 4, 4-1. Bears number 5 at 4-1. Browns at number 6 at 4-1. Ravens number 7 at 4-1. Cardinals number 8 at 4-1. Seahawks at number 9 at 4-1. And rounding up the top 10 last show, the 49ers at 10.
Wait, why are you saying 4-1?
It was week 6.
That was the record last.
That was
last
everyone's
time.
record.
Okay, you read the other one. I'm sorry.
The previous show was top 10. So here's the newest one. And we're going to start at the bottom for Mr. Tillman. Number 10, they were previously unranked in the AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs at 6-3. Number 9, currently they were unranked. Now they are ranked at number 9 at 5-2-1. The Cincinnati Bengals. Who they? Number 8, they were previously ranked number 8, and they haven't moved. Cardinals at 6-2. Number 7, they were previously ranked number 1. The Green Bay Packers have fallen to number 7 in the top 10. Amazing. Big fall. That was a big loss.
Wait. The Packers were what?
They were number 1.
They were 1.
They went to 1-7.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll wait to the end to get my feedback.
I'm waiting for him to chime in.
Yeah. Yeah, they fell. They fell from number 1 to 7. Number 6, we have the Broncos at 8-1, and they were at number 2 before. Actually, you know what? Let's make a change to that. Oh, how many losses do the Broncos have? That's what it is.
1.
1 loss.
1?
Yep.
Yeah. Let me make a correction to that. I'm going to make a swap. The Broncos are going to be number 5. Because I don't believe the Broncos should have fell. that far out of the top.
You don't think the Broncos should have failed, but you thought the Packers should have failed
Yeah,
for one?
The Packers should have fallen below the team that they lost to, because the team they lost to had the same amount of losses.
I agree with that, but
I don't think it should matter where they were. I think it should matter you get ranked where you are, and then after you rank them, then you figure out what they fell. Worrying about where they were before is less important.
Hey, Sean, I got you, bro.
Relax.
It's all right.
I'm gonna push the 49ers out of the top 5 into number 6, the 6th spot.
Ooh.
And at 9-1. 49ers were previously ranked number 10, and they're number 6. We're going to have the Broncos at number 5 at 8-1. They were previously number 2. We're going to have the Ravens at 4. They were previously ranked 7 at 8-1. We're going to have the Browns at ranked 6. They were previously Browns at ranked 3. They were previously ranked 6 at 8-1. We have the Bears number 2. They were previously ranked 5. And the Chargers are number 1 at 8-0-1, and they were previously number 3.
And what about the Falcons, who have one loss?
So, can I chime in?
Please do.
Okay. So, I disagree with that entire list.
Falcons have 3 losses, by the way.
Are they really?
Yeah, they do.
Okay, my bad.
Go ahead. Hey, talk your mess, man. Go ahead. Let me hear it.
Talk to me.
So the entire list, all 10 people you disagree with. You said, okay, I'm waiting to hear this.
The order for sure. So I know we try to leverage where our list was before. I wasn't part of that original list either. I think that list was wrong, but my opinion overall.
Well, we need you, baby.
Looking at the team. So I'm gonna start from the top, work my way on down. So I think the Chargers number 1 team. They're undefeated, 1 tie. Not a lot.
Wait, hold on a second. That means you can't disagree with the whole list. Just we're already down to 1.
The order, yeah, right, the order. So
stop being asshole. Stop being asshole. Let him talk.
Yep. So number 2 team I had was the 49ers. 49ers beat the Packers. 49ers beat the Seahawks. Which both those teams were ranked, doing very, very well.
They're not on the list.
They're not on the list. Not on the list right now. They just had an AP loss, but prior to that, they were one of the top teams. So, but I would put 49ers over there. They're putting up a lot of points. Like the number 1 offense in our league, blowing everybody out. So the teams they play there are bad teams, which they are. They're not just getting by with those teams. I think the Packers are the number 3 team. In my opinion, with that 1 loss, again, their only loss was to the 49ers. And even that, they had 3 or 4 picks and still only lost by a touchdown. So,
question before you continue. You want the Packers at number 3, and you want to rank them above the other teams who are on win streaks and haven't lost. That's what you want to do. Yep. They just took a loss. Because of the loss they had, as bad as they played, if you want to say it that way, they lost by a touchdown to a team I ranked above them. So a team I think was the number 2 team. They lost to the number 10 team. No, that's based on which I feel like the 49ers are the number 2 team. So this is just again my opinion. Oh wow, okay. 10-4.
So
49ers Packers. So, okay, go ahead.
So I think 49ers Packers, top 2 teams in the NFC. I think the Browns are the number 2 team in the AFC. I think the Browns, they lost to the Bengals, but they beat the Bengals, and then they beat they beat 2 teams in the top 10. They beat the Bengals and the Ravens. So right now they got the number 1 spot, in my opinion, in one of the better divisions. That we got at FNG. Number. I
can't see my face right now, but I'm just giving them that look.
Wait.
This would be number 5.
Number 2 team in the NFC.
Yeah, they're number 4 AFC. Browns number 2 team in the AFC.
Number 2 team in the AFC, I would say. Yeah, I would.
Are we supposed to rank them based on record and who we think is better than whoever else?
Yep. Okay. For sure. I think the Browns are the second best team in the AFC right now.
Okay.
I got
you hear that, Chaz?
So number 5. So number 5.
I got the Ravens at number 5.
Okay.
Ravens lost to the Browns, only lost, and they beat the Bengals, another ranked team. So again, they got a wins over a ranked team. I got the Broncos at 6. Broncos did lose to the Chiefs, who you had ranked, but they lost to the Chiefs. And they did beat ATL. So I thought Atlanta was a really good team in my opinion, and they beat Atlanta. So I got them at number
Atlanta
6.
was ranked 4 on our list, even though that you didn't rank our list.
Yep.
Our last
so
list.
The Bears I got 7, and the difference between the Bears and the Broncos, in my opinion, was the Bears lost to that same Atlanta team by 20 points, whereas the Broncos beat them by 20 points. So that was the difference, between those two teams. I know we had the Bears ranked higher previously.
Bears are ranked 5, and the Broncos were ranked 2 in the last list.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's where I had it at, and that distinguished the Cardinals at 8. Again, the Cardinals beat who did they beat? The Seahawks. Oh, no, I'm sorry. The Cardinals
beat the 49ers.
They beat the 49ers. Yep. They beat the 49ers, which was a big win. But they lost to the Seahawks. And I think they lost to Carolina Panthers as well, I believe. So,
correct.
So that kind of brought them down a little bit.
Yep.
The Bengals I had at number 9. Bengals lost to 2 top 10 teams, and the Ravens and the Browns. They did beat the Browns, so they had 1 win versus a top 10 team, and they had a tie versus a top 10 team. So had them at the 9th spot. And then for me, I had
10th spot now.
On the 10th spot, I had Atlanta over the Chiefs. I know Atlanta's had some tough loss, but I had them over the Chiefs. I thought they're still winning their division. Atlanta's lost. Atlanta did beat the Bears, which is a very, very good team. So that's a win over a top 10 team. The Chiefs did have a win over a top 10 team as well. But I felt like the Atlanta, what they've done thus far this season with their wins were bigger than the Chiefs' 6 wins. And that was
my
just
counter,
like
my counter to that list. My counter, not to that list, to that just that spot. Chiefs over the Falcons. The Chiefs have 2 top 10 teams in their division, and they've beaten one of them.
Yep.
Right. Versus
they got 1 top 10 team win, and Atlanta has a top 10 team win. So
I'm just saying. It had you would think if the Chiefs didn't have those 2 guys in there, they'd be leading the division, and you're giving him leading his division as a reason of him above the Chiefs.
You can only play who you're on your schedule. I think the Bengals would be a better team if they have to play the Browns and the Ravens 4 games a year, or the Steelers. So I mean, we only do so much, with our division. But those were just my opinion. Like I said, the Packers, they lost to the Packers, which is a great team. So again, whether that's in their division or not, they played them.
They were undefeated.
They beat.
They
beat a really good Seahawks team, which again would still be in the top 10 if they weren't on AP. So I give them credit for that. And they beat the Bears, which is a top 10 team. So like I said, you only can play who on your schedule. And to me,
let's run down your list.
Who are the 1-loss teams?
Let's run down your list real quick. Just Chargers, 49ers, Packers, Browns, Ravens, Broncos, Bears, Cardinals, Bengals, Falcons. The list we just did a second ago: Chargers, Bears, Browns, Ravens, Broncos, 49ers, Packers, Cardinals, Bengals, Chiefs. So you agree the Bengals should be 9, just like we did, and you agree that the Chargers should be number 1. That's the only similarities that I see between our lists.
Yeah.
But Jedi, can you repeat Billups's 3, 4, 5?
3 is Packers, Browns, Ravens. That's 3, 4, 5.
Packers. I'm sorry, 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 4, 5, 6.
Sure. 4, 5, 6. Browns, Ravens, Broncos. Our 4, 5, 6.
I'm sorry, Billups. I don't think that any of the 4, 5, 6 are worse than 3.
Our 4, 5, 6 is Ravens, Broncos, 49ers. So I swapped the 49ers and Broncos. I don't believe the Broncos should drop below the 49ers.
I'm going to slide this in real quick. Packers owner said that we're treating them like Boise State. And then,
well, tell them to stop playing on a blue field, and we wouldn't.
Stop. Hey, how about this? You should have beaten the 10th ranked team.
Then he said the Falcons beat the Bears, and he beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Falcons beat the Bears.
Tell him I said he ain't better than the Browns or the Broncos.
Well,
period.
the Falcons beat the Bears, right? And the Falcons last week were ranked number 4, and the Bears were ranked number 5. But the Falcons got 2 losses now, or 3 losses. I'm sorry. That's why the Falcons aren't even ranked anymore.
Yeah.
And the rest of the teams on the list that we posted before Billups gave us this late list, all the guys that moved up are on win streaks, and the only reason, and I say it's a mistake, it could be just because I'm self-absorbed, but I'm on a 9-game win streak. The Broncos are on a 2-game win streak, and that's why when I was making the list, I ranked the 49ers above the Broncos. But in my opinion, I don't think they should have jumped that high because I believe right now the Broncos should be 5, and the 49ers should be outside of the top 5.
All right.
I don't know if you guys
Hey,
49ers and the Browns are the only teams that got wins over top 10, 2 top 10 teams. So I think that we're disrespecting those, and both of you guys are on the chat. You guys know how you feel about your game, but to me, you guys are definitely in that top 5 by far. I argue with myself about putting the Browns at 3 versus the Packers. I just think the Packers are playing excellent all season. They're blowing teams out, and them losing to the 49ers is no disrespect to them. I mean, they took. I think
there ain't no division hate there.
You had 2 pick sixes. I mean, like I said, if that didn't happen,
right.
You know, I don't know where the game would have been at. So I mean, as great as you played, as bad as mistakes he made, it still came down to a 1-score game. So I wasn't ready to just write him off to the bottom of the 1-loss teams at all. In my opinion, I think he's having a hell of a season. But to me, realistically, outside of the undefeated Chargers, there's nobody that got better quality wins than the Browns or the 49ers right now. So that's just my opinion.
Hey guys, I'm gonna bring this back in. That's why it's always fun to talk about top 10. Everybody has their own opinion.
Well, good question. Which one are we going to go with? The one that we did, or the one that Billups did? Just so I know for record.
Hey, that was just my opinion.
That's just opinion.
I know y'all met.
Aren't they the same 10 people though, for the most part?
Yeah. Except you add the Falcons and Phillips.
The Falcons are on there instead of the Chiefs.
I put the Falcons over the Chiefs.
Falcons.
All right, so we know who the top 11 teams are. All right, but next week is gonna all change again. So next time we do it.
Yeah.
So.
All right.
Okay.
I put a little. I looked at more quality wins. It's kind of how I looked at it, more so than where they were ranked in our BCS system from previous weeks.
Right. Hey, yeah, fellas who's watching, it's just our opinion. That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
What are they saying? Are they saying?
And one last thing, Sean, I'm just motivating you. Every time I'm gonna just motivate you. Prove me wrong.
Who did the Bears?
Prove me wrong.
When we do game of the week, we have to talk about that Jags-Packers game.
Yep, we're gonna go to week 7. And games that stand out. Of course, I'm gonna throw the first one out that I see is the Browns and the Bengals. Second great game of the season. Went down to the wire, and the Browns beat the Bengals 30-28.
Where are we at here? What happened in that game?
The first game I played against the Bengals, he beat me with a last-second field goal.
Last 4 seconds, but
Yeah.
This game I won by 2, so it's always
it was the same thing. It was the end of the game, last-second field goal for the most part. The other way around. Yeah, I think I was up 1. You had a good drive with like under 30 seconds left. I think you drove all the way down. I tried to give you a touchdown. You didn't take it. You know, you ran the clock down and kicked a field goal at the end of the game. So definitely was a good job. It was a couple big third down conversions you had, I believe, in that series. Like you had like a 3rd and 17. You converted on a big play, and like a 3rd and 12. So like, man, it's like Odell was hard to guard even when you know he's doing that out. So it's like gotta fly. And then as soon as you try to beat him to that spot, he has a post he runs, and then it's like he's wide open. So you can't really guess on it. So you just gotta get your Vaseline out and take it, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, you held one of the lead rushers to 58 yards on 12 carries and 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
And you went for 118 on 13 carries and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty significant defensively for you. Baker Mayfield has some quality scrambles for 35 yards, 3 scrambles. So obviously
they were big too. They all those were all in 3rd down as well. Like each one of those was 3rd down. And I think Dillard. I mean, they're all great games. I think all of our games for like one in the last like forever has been like really like neck and neck. I think there's been like a game I blew him out in the last 10 series, and I think it's like one game he blew me out. But other than that, they're always last drive, who has the ball last. Either you score a touchdown or you stop the guy. That's been pretty much every game we played since even before I had the Bengals. They were like that. So it was definitely good reps.
Yep.
Great game. 2-game difference. That's phenomenal.
Yep. I see another game too. Chiefs versus the Broncos. Chief won 45-35.
Upset special.
Yep. So I mean, the Chiefs get some shout outs in here. Packers.
Patrick Mahomes, 151.7,
went back.
332 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Be counting on me though.
Yeah, it was.
Don't treat me like that. I'm on the phone. Don't treat me like that though.
Yeah, so I don't know if he's muted or not, but
He's not.
yeah, that was a
I got
hint.
you.
Bell got 75 yards. I was wondering when Le'Veon Bell was going to stand out for the Chiefs yet. You know what I mean? Because I know they got Damian Williams and a couple other good guys there rushing the ball. And obviously Tyreek Hill, 5 for 150. Chiefs doing anything, man. That was an impressive win to kind of see where the rest of the division was going to, how they were going to respond to Chaz, because we've seen how they respond to Harris, the reigning champion. But I was wondering how they would respond to him, and that was a significant win for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Another reason why I wanted them in the top 10.
And he texted me. He put in our group text something about upset city, something like that.
Oh yeah, I mean that's big.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Speaking of upset city, Chargers Dolphins, 27-21. Chargers escaped out of Miami with a win. Bullock should have pulled this game out. I watched this game, and just I'm doing a show. Just so you know.
If and buts with candy and nuts, every day would be Christmas.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah, everybody was singing. So you heard her singing.
Yeah.
If and buts with candy and nuts, every day be Christmas.
Right. To go Vigaloa, 3 touchdowns, 4 picks, though I think were probably the reason why he lost. 338 yards passing. Balaj did what he usually does, 130 yards on 3 touchdowns, but on 24 carries, which is usually not what he does. You know, usually it's on like maybe 10, 15 carries. He gets its 200 something yards. So he was limited, and that's probably why the game was as close as it was. And Brooks really didn't do much on the ground.
As crazy as it sounds, he shut Balaj down. I mean, as crazy as it is, getting 130 yards and 3 touchdowns, it was really like Bullock played a hell of a game.
Yes.
It was neck and neck. Like I said, it's been a while.
Crazy.
I can't remember the game exactly, but it was a damn close game. So,
All right.
Well, I think what's name was Devontae Parker was hurt in this game. I think that was the big thing. He was hurt in this game, so he was playing with his backups.
Yeah, them turnovers is what killed him. I mean, like any game, you know, you turn the ball over 4 times, it's definitely against a great player, you're going to be hard to win games. But
no more victories in here.
This was also the week that Seattle beat Arizona, and with that win over the 49ers, Arizona was kind of riding high in the division. So losing 44-30 to the Seahawks was big.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really it.
I'm at week 8 now. I gotta talk about this game. Week 8, Panthers versus the Falcons. Panthers beat the Falcons 52-45. No defense. The Panthers beating a quality.
21 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, what a comeback. I mean, I said this in the last show. You think you're riding high. The Falcons were riding high. You know, like they were running the show, and they literally got the foot put in them in the fourth quarter. Bridgewater, 327 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks, 119 quarterback rating. McCaffrey, 23 carries, 154 yards rushing, 2 tutties. Come on, man. I mean, shut the run game down.
The Falcons were definitely one-dimensional in that game. You know, they put up a bunch of yards. They turned the ball over a bunch of times as well. So, I think we have – again, this league is filled with a lot of talent, and the record doesn't always do everybody justice. But I think that it makes it extremely difficult to just pass the ball or to just run the ball. Even though some teams have success one week or another week, but it makes it very difficult to be one-sided in this game without changing it up a little bit.
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I'm just throwing out some games too that I see that stand out to me. 49ers and Seahawks. 49ers beat the Seahawks 34-29.
That was a very tight game. Very tight game. And we were down in the first half, and we had to really come back. Had a big fourth quarter. Got a couple
Big
turnovers.
third quarter.
Third quarter. That's what I mean. Third quarter. Big third quarter.
Third quarter was big. Yeah.
Keeping them from scoring, and at that point, it was just kind of, exchanging scores to keep ahead. Really.
Yeah.
A lot of defense in that game.
Yep.
Believe it or not.
I got
Yeah,
a shout out to the Raiders. Jose Jan's team. He actually gave
Mhm.
me a close game. I won that game 31. Browns beat the Raiders 31-24.
Yeah, he had you scared.
No moral victories.
Yeah, it was.
He had you scared, bro. Tell the truth.
It was. Any other games that stand out? I see the Rams beat the Dolphins 47-14.
He needed that to bounce back.
Yep. Chiefs beat the Jags 34-20. And then as usual, Tampa Bay beat the Giants 51-20. All right, let's go to week 9.
Tom Brady, 4 touchdowns. Perfect quarterback rating.
Hey, for one, I need to throw this out there. Love to have shut up,
Smith Wesson.
Yeah, love to have more owners on here on the show. Then also, if you actually broadcast your show, broadcast your games. We could talk about your games when you're watching. So we're really talking about some of these games because we actually watch the game because they broadcast.
Lamar Miller, his third running back that wasn't hurt. 18 carries, 107. He was killing Tiger on the ground. Tiger had a good day on the ground without Saquon Barkley because he got injured in the Eagles game. Injured for 11 weeks in the Eagles game, out for the season pretty much. He was running with Jordan Scarlett, 13 carries, 141 yards, 10 yards a carry. So I think Tiger can run the ball.
I think that's
they got a cream to take care of that itch, Tiger.
Right. Take a shower. All right, let's move
That
on.
was a good game.
A lot of those yards though with Scarlett came in like in the second half when the game was already over though. I think it was like
10-4.
No, that's not true.
that's not true.
Glad you think so.
Okay.
All right, week 9 game that stands out. It's the first game. It was
Thursday night football.
Thursday night, the 49ers gave the Packers their first loss, beating them 50-43.
Where's the defense at?
Yeah.
You had 2 pick sixes, man, with some defense, huh?
I gave up a score right before the half against the Packers, which it was a run. The only way I can explain it was like he was running behind his line, and for some reason, for me, I don't know, maybe his running back is tougher than Mostert. I always trip up when I'm running into the back of my line, but he ran in the back of his line like 3 or 4 times, didn't fall, and then once they moved out of the way, my guys don't move out of the way either because they must be dumb bricks. Took it for like 75 yards. It was, and that touchdown before the half really made things tight with him, putting 12 up in the third. So,
well, you had an 80-yard touchdown in that game too, didn't you? I mean, you had a long one,
75-yarder too. Yeah, broke that on the outside.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you both had some big, both guys had some big plays, but I mean, those turnovers hurt for sure, right? Pick sixes. He was passing the ball well for the most part. He had some bad turnovers. He ran the ball well. I think it was a. Didn't you fumble on the goal line or something like that? But you got it back.
Yes, I was scrambling.
That was another. He didn't get any of the breaks at all. Like those picks were bad picks, and then he had a chance to stop him from scoring, and then he couldn't. Like his guys were all over the ball. They didn't pick it up. So
nope. We picked it up on the goal line. That's on the goal line too.
Any of those things change. You never know. It can change the game. Dramatically. So.
Oh yeah.
Like I said,
if the butts were candy as nuts every day.
Aaron Jones had 12 carries. You're sitting down, right? 12 carries, 212 rushing yards, 17 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Smith. It was a spectacular run performance. That was after his starter got hurt. People don't notice this. He's not the starter. Oh no, yes, he is a starter. No, I'm sticking.
I thought he is. Yeah. Okay.
It was his next game. His starter got hurt, and he did just as well with the backup. That's what it was. So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So another game that stand out. I gotta bring out Texans and the Jaguars. Texans beat the Jags 28-23.
I did not see this game because it wasn't broadcast. I'm so mad. How did this happen?
I think that's the Texans' first win, is it?
Yes, they were winless.
Reggie! You got some explaining to do.
Kaepernick had 3 picks, but Watson had 3 picks too.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how this happened.
Yeah.
No one was really running the ball. You know, Gurley had 49, Cap had 52. You know, Duke Johnson had 6. I don't know. You know, I'm mad this wasn't broadcast, so it's hard for me to have an opinion on this game other than the shocking upset. You know, which was big. It was big. It was a big game.
Yeah, that's a big upset. Chiefs beat the Panthers 39-35. Another great game. Broncos beating the Falcons 45-24.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah.
Good smackdown.
Yep. Got to throw out the Giants. Giants lost to the football team 52-25.
Oof.
A lot of 50-point games he gave up this season.
Here comes the finger.
No. He's right.
All right, let me just give you something, okay? Daniel Jones, 13 for 16, 81%, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 28.3 quarterback rate. Jordan Scarlett, 110 yards rushing on 13 carries, 1 touchdown, 8.5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
It's 10 yards less than Antonio Gibson, pretty much. 16 yards less, 1 less touchdown. But why did you lose this game, Tiger?
I was down to score in the red zone. I think it was first or second down. Through a crossing pattern, Daniel Jones threw a pick 6, and I was chasing points. That's why I went up to 52. Period. It was a 1-score game, so kept trying to give 1, get 2. I was down 2 scores at that point.
Yeah,
so,
24 points in the fourth.
It doesn't matter if it's 50 points or 1 point, you still lose.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very true.
I also like to throw a shout out to Tampa Bay. They beat the Saints 38-28.
10-point spread, another divisional matchup.
Yep. All right, moving to week 10.
The week we're currently in.
Yeah, just one more shout out to Tampa Bay, and again that's a 3-6, 3-17, but third string, fourth string running back with 255 yards rushing. Just ridiculous what they're doing out there. So please broadcast your game, Smith.
Speaking of week 10.
Yeah, so we go watch them, man. All right, so
how does high noon sound?
Oh, that's them calling you out, Bengals.
Oh, what did you say, brother?
High noon.
How does high noon sound?
I got to throw this one out. The Broncos versus the Raiders.
Sound good.
Broncos versus the Raiders. Jose Yan almost had that game.
He had him scared. Another game where the Raiders had the guy heart in his chest, and he was killing him with who's that receiver? Ruggs, Henry Ruggs, 2 catches.
Ruggs and Gafford, I think.
Ruggs and Rico Gafford. Ruggs, here's a stat line. Ruggs, 2 catches, 157 yards, 78 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns, right? Rico Gafford, 2 catches, 124 yards, 62 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns. He was killing them with them deep bombs. But
yeah, I gotta apologize for not being on this call recently because I feel like not being on here, y'all got into the condition of giving out these participation trophies. I'm not understanding what that's going on here. I thought this was about wins and losses.
These are competitive games.
You got wins and losses. Well, you got the top 10, and then you got the one participate. Right here, and then you got type.
These are competitive games. This is a top 10 guy who could have lost this game.
You got Billups praising everybody. Someone paid him off this week, including Tranks. You got Dill being quiet while he allows his conference mate to say he's not worthy of being in the top 5. I mean, you got all types of stuff going on there. Everybody's just sitting back. I'm shocked.
He said he was a number.
And Mike, where's my Bevison?
Game. I said he was number 4, but I said he should be number 3.
Yeah.
Anyway,
speaking of upsets, Detroit beat Washington.
Just a comment.
Thank you. I'm about to bring that game up.
This is 32 owners, so we can't just talk about the top 10 teams or the top 3 teams every podcast. Like you try to. That's why it's great when people broadcast because you can have more dialogue about some of the games you watch. So, like for me, I love seeing people compete because we even within the same league, I think there's times where you feel like halfway through the season you get teams that are winning, teams that are losing, and teams that are losing start checking out. start
Right.
going on AP early. I haven't seen that a lot. And like I said, one thing about this league that I love, and it's been this way for a lot with the Bucks. I see the Lions do it every day. The Lions and the Bucks, not a lot of wins and more losses than wins, but they compete and they go at it no matter what the record is the entire season. So week 15, week 16, week 17, win
gonna get a
or
game.
lose, they still going at it. So I appreciate those owners by far every season, man.
And that's the team I just brought up. Washington, who needs this game to stand out in the NFC East, and they go and lose. They go and lose to the Detroit Lions, and Detroit Lions, man, they were ahead most of that game. I was watching this game.
Hey, Trace, I got to roll back 30 seconds. I want to hear it. Billups, do you appreciate me?
I don't think I brought you up, man.
You did. I want to make sure. I heard him because he didn't say me. He's like, I appreciate people, but not me. That's all right.
We wouldn't be able to do it. We wouldn't be able to do it without you, Tiger. That game, the fact that the Washington football team brought it this close, that's how much the Stafford and the boys were dominating them. It was flawless offensively and defensively. He was getting picks. He was stopping them, forcing them to punt. He made Haskins.
He had 6 turnovers in that game.
Throw 5 pickles, man. 5 pickles. Adrian Peterson, 17 carries for 188 yards. And Antonio Gibson had his
Wayback machine.
Right.
Yeah, for real, right? Antonio Gibson had his breakout message there. So it was like he had to get I guess he's just a regular star because he only got 113 yards and 1 touchdown. So he couldn't be a superstar. What's name said he had a breakout for his running back. So to hold him to 113 yards rushing is pretty good because Antonio Gibson is in the running for Rookie of the Year right now. So this was an impressive performance by Ty, and this game was going on the same time Hossein was playing the Broncos. So I couldn't turn away from this game. That's how good Ty was doing in this game. I mean, Kenny Galladay was killing him. Who else was killing him? Jeff Thomas, another rookie who's doing well. He had a pretty good game. Got a score in that game. Just proud of Ty putting in a good win. Not that I'm rooting for both. I could care who wins in the both of those NFC teams, but it was a really good performance by the Detroit Lions beating Washington that week, 28-21, at home for Detroit. And
right.
Packers Jaguars, another great game.
Yep.
They had to bounce back from that loss to the 49ers. I was wondering, this was game of the week. I pegged this as one of my games of the week, Jaguars Packers. And the Packers, their running back, Aaron Jones, got hurt. And their backup running back, Jamal Williams, rushed 13 carries, 231 yards, 17 yards a carry, 4 touchdowns. And I was listening to his broadcast when he wasn't cursing his team out for not getting picks because Cap was doing his best. Kaepernick was doing his best to throw it to the other team, but they kept dropping him. He said, "Why is it my backup running back always starts going off? Like he's probably gonna get an X factor or a breakout message next because Aaron Jones had 3 carries before he got hurt. Gurley only had 82 yards on the ground. Kaepernick only had 2 yards rushing. Shut down the run game. But one thing that when I was watching this game that stood out to me, DJ Chark was killing the Packers. 7 catches for 199 yards, 3 touchdowns, 28 yards a catch. And it seemed like every time DJ Chark caught the ball, he was either breaking the tackle or swerving through the defense and getting downfield for a touchdown. He had him pissed.
In a word of Harris, I'll say pause first, but his stick skills are ridiculous.
Yes.
There. Like he was killing them. So he catches the ball in the open field, whether he's running the ball or whether he's catching it. I mean, those jukes is unreal. His timing of them. So he got it a couple of times. He was in the open field and bust a move and took off, and it was something else. So I know I saw that as well when I played him earlier in the season, and a few games he broadcast. I've seen it. So it's it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was very, very entertaining, Sean Smith. Please continue to broadcast. I will always watch your broadcasts. It was entertaining, and still it was great to not be playing you and watch how you get it done, because you definitely were doing your thing on offense. You were dominating even when with your main guy down, which was impressive. And Aaron Rodgers, of course, perfect quarterback rating, 325, 4 touchdowns. It's nice having royalty back there throwing the ball. But good job bouncing back after that loss.
I think he put up 45, 48 in the first half. It was a high-scoring first half. I mean, from the score 66 points, it still was like I thought he was going to hit 100 at one point, because it was just the game was moving that fast. Yeah, so
only scored 21 in the second half, so he was up early.
45.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything else stand out in this last week?
That's it.
Because we only have 4 games left.
Yep. Moving fast. One, shout out to everybody getting their game scheduled, playing their games. I do want to leave about 5 minutes because we've been over an hour and 21 minutes on this show. Right. But
Eagles, Giants, Bengals, Steelers, Bills, Cardinals, and Jets, Dolphins. Those are the last 4 games we have.
All right. I know one of y'all will be on top of it, make sure all games scheduled. But I do want to talk about the new Xbox. To ones, the people that are able to, get their hands on one.
There are 3 people in this show that have Xbox One, Xbox Series X's.
I think only 2 of them are playing with it. So I don't think Frank's playing with his yet. But I'm playing. Mike, you got one too, right?
Yep. I've got one.
Agree to disagree, but I believe the only difference I see right now, it looks exactly like Xbox One. The difference I see right now is much faster. So the lower screens, like you hit a button, it goes to the next screen real fast. You're not waiting at all.
Mm-hmm.
The only game I'm playing on it right now is 2K and Madden. And especially with 2K, when this is loading up, it just takes seconds and it goes to the next screen.
Yeah. So for you don't have that difference. For me, it was a huge difference because I had a day one Xbox One, which was not 4K. So it is completely different for me. I mean, my first couple games of Madden, just the way that it looked was kind of overwhelming to me, and how smooth it was. So it took a little bit of getting used to for me.
Right.
But yeah,
do you need a hug? Do you need a hug, Mike? How overwhelming it was?
Are you offering?
No. I'm actually offering deal services.
Yeah, but I mean, the speed of loading up games and switching between games is ridiculously fast.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, to be specific, I actually haven't broken mine open specifically because I gave myself a chore, which is to redo my man cave before I allow myself to the reward of opening the system. So it's been moved to my wife's room and still unboxed to avoid the temptation.
But it might help your game.
But it might hurt
that might be true. That might be true, actually, but it will hurt his draft pick.
Yeah, I mean, even guys, the setup is real easy. I did the setup on my phone. That took seconds. And it's actually really no big difference the way it looks. Like the homepage all look the same. But of course, in the future, they'll probably update all that.
Right.
Get more games. You definitely see.
Did it help your game, Bill?
Excuse me?
Did it help your game?
I can't hear you making my trophies out my ear.
Okay. Because if it helped you, no, I would say the opposite. If it helped your game, then I'm upset about helping you out.
Yeah. Shout out to Tiger. He had an extra one, and I got it from him.
Nice.
For real?
Wow.
That's phenomenal.
Hey, Tiger, man, if you can get another one,
Wait, I had you on the top of the list, but you know what happened about 20 minutes ago? You said you appreciate
him.
Respect. I dig that, brother.
All right, fellas, I think that's a wrap. Another great show. You got any announcements, anything? I don't think it's nothing special.
No, we're squared away. We have no open teams currently for the people that are watching that aren't in the league. We'd like to create a waiting list because right now there's nobody standing by on a waiting list that I know of. Because you never know, people might the Seahawks owner might not come back, so we might need a guy to take over Seahawks. And they're a good team in good shape, and we don't do a whole lot of moving around as far as the trading and players. So when you do come to a team, it's going to look very close to that team. And if the guy's missing off there, more likely than not, there's been some draft compensation or other players on there that replaces that guy that you got. And the only other thing that we might want to quickly discuss, if we can, or maybe leave it to next week or next show, best division in FNG. We started talking about it a little bit before the show started, not here, but on the page. And I honestly think there's an argument for some other divisions. We used to say the NFC West, NFC best, right? But with the Seahawks,
Oh no, I don't ever remember saying it that way.
Oh
So
yeah,
y'all's all right.
always
1/3 of your top
always.
10 is
all right.
the AFC North.
You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
that's
Hey,
what I was saying.
You know, we might have to put a vote in for the AFC West.
no, I ain't gonna lie. I gotta throw this out there. I think it was last season in Madden 20. Your division did run through our division. Like y'all, I mean, I think y'all beat us bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, three of the last top 10, three of the top 10.
I don't think they beat us bad, man.
They did. They did. I remember talking about it.
Hey, Dill, we ain't talking about Madden 20, just like we ain't talking about Madden 19.
But I'll just say this: last top 10, three of the top 10 were the NFC West. So I think that was the case. But now, let's see: Ravens and Browns and Bengals. So right now we got three of the AFC North and three of the AFC East. Three of the AFC East and AFC North are in the top 10. So there might, if we do another week and that's the same, we might have to do that. And the Seahawks dropping off obviously affected that. But, you know, the Rams want to pick up their pace. Their game out, they have everyone in the top 10 has 3 or less losses. And the Rams currently have 4. So depending on what happens, you never know what the top 10 might be. A lot of one-loss teams in there, though. So we'll see.
Yep.
Right now, it's the AFC West and the AFC North right now.
Yep.
In my opinion.
At one point, we had more than half of the people in the league watching the show, whether they're on the show or watching on YouTube.
Okay, great.
Fellas, if y'all want to join the show, you're more than welcome to join. As always, I always say, it's not my show, it's not Trent's show, it's our show. I'd love to have you on. Again, shout out to Harris, the Chargers owner. You know, he's the one who set this account up for Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of people on the show. I think
the reigning champion, FNG champion.
Nobody care about that.
Yeah, the reigning FNG champion.
Yeah, whatever.
The Madden 19 or 20 champion or whatever.
Madden 20. Yeah.
Different